We're starting off the week on a very good note, and of course, we bring you everything from the world of sports here on Sports Today on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. We'll be talking about a couple of things, including how it looks like that divorce settlement where John Mensah is involved in is going to take a very big toll on his purse. Well, he's been ordered to sell off a mansion at Trasacco Valley, a very expensive residential address here in Ghana. I'll be telling you about that as well. And of course, there's a lot of talk about how John Mensah can make a major impact in the Black Stars team as they get ready for the qualifier. Remember that, I beg your pardon, as they get ready for participation in the World Cup. Also, the Black Stars are assembling and getting ready for that game against Montenegro. And of course, the technical team and the local component of the team left Accra last night for the capital of Montenegro for that very big international friendly. Well, what are the stakes going to be like? What is it going to be like? What kind of impact do you expect that game to make? And what are you expecting at all that the Black Stars will derive from that friendly? That's what you need to tell me on my Facebook wall, Nathaniel Attoh, Citizen Attoh. And also, you can get through 1760, like I always say. 1760, it is a 30 Ghana pesos, irrespective of the network you're on. And let's get talking today on Sports Today on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. There's a lot in the newspapers as well. I'll also be telling you how it's been a fairly good performance from all the three teams that are in continental competition. I'll be bringing you up to speed on what's been going on with all of them. And also, we'll be telling you about how the man, Joshua Clottey, is getting ready for his next bout. In Australia, it will be a WBA International Light Middleweight title bout. And he's been talking about a whole lot of things, from family issues through to how he is psyching himself up for this very big challenge, which will be happening in faraway Australia. Also, I'll be telling you what's been happening outside of Ghana, specifically the big leagues. Of course, it was a very disappointing loss for AC Milan with Michael Essien sitting on the bench. Sule Muntari, remember, cannot be on the bench because he's suspended. He gathered 2 yellow cards, so he's suspended. So Kweju Asamoah rather tasting the golden roses on that day, and they're getting closer and closer to annexing yet another Serie A title. And of course, the good news is that the man, Jordan Ayew, has finally broken the scoring jinx for Sochaux. Well, he scored at the weekend, and that should open the floodgates for more goals so that the agenda for getting into Kwesi Appiah's team for the World Cup will be sealed and done. Of course, his brother, Andre Dede Ayew, is uncertain about his future at Marseille. We'll be talking about all of that here. Of course, Manchester City, they won the Capital One Cup at the weekend. And we'll also be bringing you many other games, including the Big Joy Sports feature, where Chelsea played away to Fulham. So everything is right here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. The show is Sports Today. Remember, you can get on my Facebook wall. So we start chatting about these and many other stories which I've told you about. The newspapers are up in a bit, so you stay right there. The newspapers will be up in a bit. All right, so let's get into the newspaper business this morning. And I can see some very must-read headlines here. Mensah to lose mansion as divorce settlement. So there's a picture of the mansion. There we are. There's a picture of the mansion, and there's John Mensah up there. So there's Yaya Toure celebrating his goal. He opened the floodgates for 2 more goals to come as Manchester City beat Sunderland to win that Capital One Cup. And of course, Andre Ayew is said to be uncertain about his future at Marseille. So I'm asking you whether you think he should stay or leave. Which is which? And of course, the Black Queens to face Ethiopia. I'll be giving you more on that. And of course, on the back page, there we are. It says, Mediama dwarfs Brighton chances as Chelsea held by Libyan side. Okay, so Ghanaian clubs doing well on the continent so far. And there at the bottom is the details of that story. And it says, let me just read a little bit of that for you. It says the representatives of divorce, the repercussions of divorce, I beg your pardon, have compelled former Black Stars defender John Mensah to put up for sale his plush Trasaco Valley Estates mansion in Accra on the orders of an Accra High Court. The shocking sale of the state-of-the-art facility and other properties belonging to Mensah and his wife Henrietta are some of the fallouts from an agreement following a divorce suit filed by the latter last October. The proceeds from the sale are to be shared equally between the couple. And investigations also reveal that an initial $500,000 demanded by former Mrs. Mensah have been beaten down to 150,000 Ghana cedis during that protracted arbitration. So 150,000 Ghana cedis will go to John Mensah's ex-wife. So there we are. And, there's so much. John and his wife were married under ordinance, thus by law, were required to share equally the properties acquired by them during the period the relationship lasted. Now, these included houses and plots of land around Accra, a beverage factory on the Kaswa-Bojuase Road, and cars. So the 31-year-old player was also tasked by the court to commit to a fixed monthly remittance for the upkeep of the children. Well, these are the very unfortunate sides of divorce. A sad one happening to John Mensah there. It's been a tough one for some ex-players as well. Remember, Arthur Moses also ordered by a court to give 4 houses to his ex-wife after a divorce settlement. Now, Alexander Kolarov is featured on the lifestyle page of the Graphic Sports newspaper. And the Serbian is described as versatile and professional. Alexander Kolarov there. All right, so there we are. Alexander Kolarov featured there. And European leagues are featured very prominently in the center spread. The Capital One Cup final is there. And action from Germany is also there. The English Premier League there. And so there we are. Manchester City would at least save us some glory. And, of course, Manuel Pellegrini will also get to taste the golden roses. Now, the Princesses are in a thick, tricky group. In Group A, it's Ghana, Canada, North Korea, and Finland. And I'm talking about the national under-20 women's football team who are playing in the next World Cup in Canada. And the job description is very simple. They need to go beyond the group stage. This is something that they've been unable to achieve, in past times. So there it is. Let's also look at the front page of the 90 Minutes newspaper, which talks about Kevin Prince Boateng, and he is said to be going to court over cigarettes and booze brouhaha. Now, worries to fight Jordan to partner Asamoah Gyan. Okay, so who picks up that slot for the FIFA World Cup in Brazil? Many questions are being asked, and there is a picture that is meant to taunt Samuel Attoh, and this is his ex-girl and a daughter, and she says that Attoh is 39 and not what he claims, according to her. Let's also take a look at the back page, I beg your pardon. The back page has European leagues, and the roundup is here. Stoke City beating Arsenal by 1-0. And, of course, Dortmund winning by 3-0. And Fulham losing 3-1 to Chelsea. So there we are. Of course, Barcelona also won 4-1 at the weekend. We'll be bringing you all of those highlights right here on the show. Of course, in the center spread is the man, RVP, Robin Van Persie. Scoring has not been too consistent in the last few games, but well, let's see how he's able to pull himself up. Robin Van Persie there in the 90 Minutes newspaper. So the Graphic Sports and the 90 Minutes newspaper making up what we've got for you today on the show. Remember, we'll be discussing a couple of issues here. And like I mentioned to you, Andre Ayew is uncertain about his future at Marseille. Of course, his younger brother, scores for Sochaux, and that is surely a lot of relief for the player who was unable to score for some time now, and that surely is coming as very, very big relief for the player. Also, John Mensah, not in the best of situations. He's been ordered to sell a house, a very big house, a plush mansion at Trasacco Valley, as part of efforts to settle a divorce case with his ex-wife. All right, so those are many other stories we'll be bringing you. Of course, the man, Roger Federer, made a very, very big comeback to win against Thomas Berdych in Dubai to pick up his sixth Dubai title. So that's the man, Roger Federer, for you. So the question I'm asking you on my Facebook wall is, can Jordan Ayew, can this just be the opening of more goals to come? You tell me, based on your own analysis. Of course, the Black Stars are also gathering to get into the capital of Montenegro for that very big friendly, that international friendly ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Remember that this friendly is supposed to serve as a platform for Coach Kwesi Appiah to be able to, assess all of his possible options before he names his final squad for the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. So keep the messages coming in as we bring you all of the details of the stories we've got for you and more. So in a bit, we'll be going to England and we'll be seeing what's been happening there in England. Remember, Manchester City, they were able to pick up that very impressive feat, and Manchester City now have silverware safely in their boardroom. What about the rest of them? Chelsea, well, and they've been able to pick up, a considerable lead. But in Spain, it's a different story. Just 1 point between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Is that going to be maintained? Well, big questions indeed. Send me a message, 1760, or alternatively, just place the comment on my Facebook wall. This is Sports Today, and is here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. Let's now go to England and take a look at what's been happening in England, and take a look at all the stuff that you missed from the weekend.
A daunting task for Felix Magath in his first home game in charge of the Cottagers. Fulham, attempting to halt a run of 7 league games without a win, had the better of a first half, with chances few and far between. A collision of minds with Kieran Richardson left Hangeland worse for wear and having to make way. Even without their skipper, Fulham remained well structured and continued to give the league leaders a run for their money. Martin Stecklenburg pulled off a fine save to deny Fernando Torres and keep the scores level. Andre Schürrle put the Blues in front just after the break, now being played in on goal by Eden Hazard.
That's the moment for Chelsea, and they take it!
Hazard, showing sublime skill, put in a cross for Torres at the far post, but Richardson got in front of the Spaniard to clear the danger. The Blues remained on the front foot with Hazard class personified. His cleverly weighted pass set up Schürrle once more. Fulham were at 6s and 7s in defence, and the German was having an afternoon to remember.
A clinical hat-trick from Andre Schürrle.
The Blues then failed to deal with a corner late on, and the Cottagers pulled a goal back through John Heitinga. The 3-1 victory gives Chelsea their 100th league win in London derbies and keeps them at the summit of the Premier League.
Expense of Stoke City. With scrappy play dominating the early exchanges, chances on goal were short in supply, with the Londoners the more active in front of goal, despite the stop-start nature of the match. Following the half-hour mark, both Wojciech Szczesny and Asmir Begovic breathed a sigh of relief, as Peter Crouch and Lukas Podolski shot wide with a goal in sight. The two stoppers would be called on with half-time approaching. Glenn Whelan denied a goal on his 400th appearance for Stoke, while Santi Cazorla was prevented from scoring his 5th goal of the league campaign. The presence of Crouch up front continued to menace the Gunners' defence after the break, the lanky forward showing his liking for the spectacular and using his famed height advantage to stretch Arsenal's number 1. Pressure mounting on the visitors' goal, Laurent Koscielny conceded a penalty in the 75th minute, handling a Jonathan Walters chip before the latter stepped up to break the deadlock.
One big kick for Jonathan Walters. Stoke City just love a visit from the big teams.
Starting off the bench, Mesut Ozil came close to grabbing the equaliser, but shot narrowly wide with time ticking down. Despite late pressure, including an overcooked Yaya Sanogo chance, Stoke would hold on for a famous win as Arsenal continue to lose ground on their title aspirations.
Against host Southampton, also on a good run of form, having won 4 their previous 5 league encounters. In a frenetic start to the game, the Reds dominated the early exchanges. The league's 2 top goal scorers, Luis Suarez and Daniel Sturridge, combined well in the 6th minute, only for Jose Rafafonte to put in a telling interception to deny the Uruguayan. 10 minutes later, however, and Suarez would break the deadlock with his 24th goal of the season, ending his 6-hour, 52-minute league goal drought.
It's broken here for the man they just didn't want it to fall to, Luis Suarez. Unstoppable Liverpool striking prowess once again.
The Uruguayan missed the chance to add his second. His free kick from just outside the 18-yard box, not troubling the Saints keeper. The home side fought back, but unfortunately Adam Lallana's shot was denied by the woodwork. Then just before the break, Liverpool's goalkeeper Simon Mignolet was called into action again with a brilliant save, this time denying Jay Rodriguez. Liverpool led 1-0 at the break. Brendan Rodgers brought on Raheem Sterling in place of Coutinho, and a minute and a half later the 19-year-old was celebrating his 6th goal of the season. Sturridge, who has scored in every one of Liverpool's last 8 games, had the opportunity to make it 9. However, the acute angle proved too much. Captain Fantastic Steven Gerrard tried his luck from range, which just went wide of target. Then in time added on, Suarez was awarded a penalty when he was brought down in the area by Fonte. The responsibility of the spot kick was left to the Red skipper.
Title challengers, you better believe it.
3-0 the final score as Brendan Rodgers' side climbed to new heights on the English Premier League log. Newcastle United boss Alan Pardew looks set to land himself in hot water with the FA after appearing to headbutt David Mailer during their 4-1 win over Hull City at the Casey Stadium. The incident flared up towards the end of the clash, resulting in the Magpies boss being sent to the bleachers for the rest of the match. Afterwards, Pardew said he regretted the incident.
It was just a heat of the moment thing, and obviously I massively regret it. And I'm going to have to sit down from now on, because that's about 2 or 3 incidents I've been involved with on the line. So that'll be me sitting down from now on as a manager.
Aggregate and progressed through to the last 16 of the competition. Tom Sherwood's side turned their focus back to the Barclays Premier League at home against relegation-threatened Cardiff City. The Lily White showed early intent, Soldado failing to control his effort in the 2nd minute. Spurs defender Michael Dawson saw his headed effort from Kyle Norton's corner kick flash wide of the Cardiff goals. The deadlock was finally broken just before the half-hour mark, Soldado breaking his 4-month goal drought.
Soldado! How he has waited for that! Tottenham needed it, but boy did he need it!
The visitors' best chance of the half came off the head of Stephen Corker from a corner kick that rattled the woodwork. Cardiff City finished off the half on the attack as Hugo Lloris was brought into action again. Declan John shot, forcing a fine save out of the Tottenham number 1 as Spurs maintained a 1-0 lead into the break. There were very limited chances for either side in the second half, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team digging their heels in defence, while Spurs were forced to shoot from range. Andros Townsend's shots going over the top of the crossbar. Then substitute Harry Kane on for Soldado had the opportunity to add the host second, but he was denied by the on-rushing David Marshall in the Cardiff goals. 1-0 the match ended in favour of Tim Sherwood's side, while the game marked 400 minutes since Cardiff scored their last Premier League goal.
All right, so a lot of drama at the weekend. The big score lines: Aston Villa beating Norwich by 4-1. Chelsea beating Fulham by 3-1. And of course, Liverpool 3-0 against Southampton. And of course, Stoke City 1-1 against Arsenal. That surely is not too good for Arsenal. And Newcastle United went away to Hull to beat Hull City by 4-1. And of course, these are the results for the last match day at the weekend. So this is the position now. And it's Chelsea in top spot is 63 points, and Liverpool will follow with a superior goal difference, but with 59 points. Arsenal there in third place, and Manchester City with the most goals, in terms of goal advantage, but they're in fourth place. So Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur there, and Everton before Manchester United and Newcastle United, Southampton and West Ham United. Okay, let's take a look at the second half of the table, and it's Aston Villa, Hull City, Swansea, Norwich, Crystal Palace, West Bromwich Albion, and okay, so if you missed any of the results, it's Villarreal 1, Real Betis 1. And, of course, that's the game that we saw a few minutes ago. It was a 2-2 draw between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid in that derby. Sevilla, they won by 1-0 against Sociedad. And Barcelona, they beat Almeria 4-1. So I beg your pardon, that was a mistake. It's a 4-1 win for Barcelona against Almeria. Now, Rayo Vallecano and Valencia, they drew goalless, while Malaga and Real Valladolid, they drew 1-1. Now, Levante, they beat Osasuna by 2-0, while Getafe and Espanyol drew goalless. Celta Vigo lost 1-0 at Elche. Well, so this is it at the top of the table. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, and of course, let me apologize one more time. It's 63 for Barcelona, who are in second place. So this league table will be updated some more. All right, so there we are. This is the remaining part of the La Liga table. It is that game ended goalless. Let's take a look at that game between Cagliari and Udinese. Well, it was not too good for Emmanuel Ajimambedu. Atalanta beat Chievo Verona by 2-1. Genoa winning by 2-0 against Catania. Bologna and Hellas Verona drawing goalless. And, of course, Sassuolo, they were beaten 1-0 by Parma. And Sampdoria also beat Torino by 2-0. Livorno and Napoli shared the spoils. Juventus beat AC Milan 2-0 and not 1-0. Apologies for the many mistakes in the tables and the results sheets. So Juventus there, 66 points it is. AS Roma following second place with 58. Napoli on 52. Fiorentina, they're on 45. Inter, Parma, Hellas Verona, Torino, and AC Milan, as well as Lazio. So this is the second half. At the results on the show. All right, so TSG Hoffenheim beating Wolfsburg by 6-2, an 8-goal thriller with Hoffenheim having the better of the result. Frankfurt beating Stuttgart by 2-1. Bayer Leverkusen, they lost at home to Mainz by 1-0. Of course, the Borussia Dortmund-Nuremberg game is what you just saw, 3-0 for Borussia Dortmund. Augsburg and Hannover 96 drew 1-1, while Borussia Mönchengladbach, they drew 1-1 with Braunschweig. Now, Werder Bremen says 1-0. Werder Bremen winning by 1-0 against Hamburg. And, of course, Bayern Munich, they beat Schalke by 5-1. So Bayern Munich there, 65 points, and they are 20 clear points of Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich, 20 points clear. So these are the teams and their standings. Of course, this is the last part of the All right, so let's take a look quickly at the last part of the table one more time. So we go to the French Liga and take a look at the results. Ajaccio, they lost by 4 goals to 2 to Lille. Lyon, they lost to Montpellier 3-0. Paris Saint-Germain beating Marseille. And, of course, AS Monaco winning 2-0 at Saint-Etienne. Lorient beating Bastia by 2 goals to 1. And Nice beating Toulouse 1-0, while Sochaux won 2-0 at Bordeaux. Jordan Ayew's name there on the score sheet. Stade de Reims, they beat Valenciennes by 2 goals to 2. They drew, I beg your pardon. And, of course, Stade Rennes and Guingamp had a game which had a good result as well. Paris Saint-Germain, they're on 61 points. Closest to them is Monaco, who are on 56 points now, 4 points clear. And Lille in third place, Saint-Etienne, Marseille, Lyon, Stade de Reims, Bordeaux, Bastia, and Toulouse. All right, so there it is. Montpellier, Lorient, Guingamp, Stade Rennes, Nantes, Nice, Evian, Tonon-Gaillard, and Valenciennes, as well as Sochaux and Ajaccio. All right, so that's it. We will be doing some more here. Your messages are also waiting to be read, so stick right there. Don't go anywhere. This is Sports Today on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV, and I'll be bringing you some more stories after this round of commercials. All right, so we go ahead with some more stories here on the show, and we'll be bringing you some stories here. And like I mentioned earlier to you, Jordan Ayew's efforts are paying off at Sochaux. But let's take a look at Ghana and Marseille forward. Andre Ayew was revealed that he's yet to make a decision over his future at the Stade de Velodrome. Remember that Andre Ayew has been linked with so many players, and he's in the final 18 months of his contract with Marseille, and it's not too sure whether he will stay. So his younger brother Jordan, and he is happy that his efforts have begun to pay off at Sochaux. And remember that the player is expecting to have more play time so that he can probably fit the bill for the upcoming FIFA World Cup. All right, so there we are. Informed Ghana striker Abdul Majid Waris says that one of his greatest achievements so far in football was putting on the Black Stars jersey. The player is also looking forward to making it to the Mundial in Brazil in 2014. And so Ghana midfielder Efriye Akwahi made a return to action for Parma after serving a one-match suspension in his side's 1-0 win at Sassuolo in the Serie A last Sunday. That was yesterday. The youngster came on in the 68th minute to replace Marco Marchioni as Marco Polo's second-minute goal sealed the win. All right, now let's do some more. And Ghanaian attacker David Akam is on hand to give Helsingborg a narrow win. He was on hand to give them a narrow win and secure their progress into the Swedish Svenska Cup after scoring the only goal of the game. And also Dutch-born attacker Elvis Menu inspired Camber to a 1-1 vital away draw at the Groningen. And, of course, he scored a second equalizer to help the club move to a mid-table place. All right, Barnsley manager Danny Wilson has hailed the reaction of lone midfielder Emmanuel Frimpong following his debut to forget, he should forget the against Sheffield Wednesday. Barnsley manager Danny Wilson says that the player comported himself very well, and we need to be doing some more of that during the said game. All right, so defender Rashid Sumaila endured yet another defeat on his injury return with Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa. Well, so the player is now trying to recover fully so he can play and catch the attention of Coach Kwesi Appiah. All right, so Montenegro will assemble. They assembled yesterday to prepare for the international friendly against Ghana on Wednesday. Now, the delegation left here in Accra for the capital of Montenegro for that big game, and that was yesterday. So let's see how all of that is going to go. All right. So this is Brekum Chelsea, who scored the last gap equalizer to draw 1-1 with Al Ahly Benghazi of Libya in the CAF Champions League on Sunday. All right, so Midyama SC also took a giant step towards progressing in the CAF Confederation Cup after their first round victory. First leg win over former champions Mas Fez of Morocco at home on Saturday. So Midyama SC have an edge going into the second leg of this competition. All right, German legend Franz Beckenbauer will be an ambassador for Libya as they host the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations. You know, the other time when Franz Beckenbauer, made major stuff this side of the world was when he came to Ghana to view the FIFA World Cup. And this was during the era of President J. Ekufuor. All right, so everybody's been talking about infrastructure. Well, the Cape Coast Stadium is under construction, and it should be finished anytime soon. Well, President John Dramani Mahama took a visit to the stadium at the weekend, and there is some stories here for you. Let's go.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
The columns, that it is on them that inform the beams and the seating arrangement. Just come up before they form the beams and the seating arrangement.
Then it's quite big.
It's quite a big structure. The seating capacity, 15,000 seating capacity, and parking lots. We also have outside courts for basketball. Then we have the VIP area, and then we have the changing rooms for the athletes and other games.
so that I'm we are comedies. Then came 2016, I bear one touch. The Pamochon Pesave Casambako, now the regional minister. Come and tell me him. I prefer Piso, Yan Casa, and I say, Nientia Pessia Casa Keke, and they say, a new way, any new bebrea, or my penny qua pra ordano. Ya twaba mao as abanya e wose woni wani to ho na ba wo share amanfo no wo hwe na wo di se adwuma no.
All right, great structure there. 15,000 seaters. I just hoping it was going to be about about 20,000 at the least, but well. It should be finished, and I have a lot of hope for that. Hopefully all the schools will be able to use that facility for their inter-colleges, and it will have a bigger feel. And when you look at the artist's impression of the stadium, it's got good tartan tracks and all. It could be used as an Olympic facility. And currently the Siudu Park is about the biggest in terms of stadium size to host such matches. So let's see how the Cape Coast project goes, and let's just hope that everything goes according to schedule, and of course it will be delivered and sealed. So that was the Youth and Sports Minister addressing the people there, and of course President John Dramani Mahama inspecting that facility, which is expected to be finished soon. Apologies if I've been unable to read your text messages, having a few challenges here with the console. We'll try our best and try to rectify that as we go ahead. Now, Joshua Clottey has an opportunity to fight in Australia. He's fighting Anthony Mundine, who is a very, very big and credible boxer, and he is highly revered in Australia, just like the likes of Jeff Fennick. And Anthony Mundine and Joshua Clottey will fight for the WBA International Light Middleweight title. Joshua Clottey was my guest last Saturday on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. And he's been talking about a range of issues from how he's preparing through to family life issues with his brother Emmanuel, which he's tried very hard to solve over the years, which have proved unsuccessful. And how he's just psyching himself up for the big challenge in Australia, which could prove a very, very intimidating terrain.
Found myself in conversations where people suggest, oh, Joshua looks like he's very comfortable now. He's a rich man, so, he's not really hungry for any more success. How true is that? What would you say to anybody who suggests that to you?
Well, it's not true. It's not true. I'm still looking for...
You're not a wealthy man?
No, that's his opinion. I don't even know what he's talking about. But Attoh, like I always keep telling people, I'm so happy that I'm taking care of my mother and my father. That is the most important to me and my daughter. I don't really know anything called rich and all whatever. I believe that if
but you're very comfortable.
Yeah, I'm fine if I can take care of my parents. Because they take care
but
of
Joshua,
me.
living in a mansion in an expensive address is
God, the halal that we have, He is the one that gave it to me. So I'm so happy about that I really have a place. Like I told you, in a man's life, a young guy, whatever, man's life, if you have a place to sleep, is the biggest thing in life. Because you're not gonna rent a place and all kind of that. I feel so happy about that. And taking care of my parents, so fine.
Clottey brothers, Joshua and Emmanuel. At a point, we saw Emmanuel's career soar, go up. And then at a point, he was a bit stagnant. You joined him in the United States of America. You shared a common trainer, Kwame Asante. And then you just started, soaring. You just started moving up. You've become a world champion. What's been happening with your brother Emmanuel?
Well, Attoh, my brother, it's the issue that sometimes I don't want to talk about. But you see, to explain it bit to you, I have done everything I can for him to understand that in sports, when you finish, you are a good fighter. You finish the boxing. You have to make sure that you get somebody to train. Good for you is that your brother is still fighting. So I told Emmanuel several, many times that, you know what? Forget about the sports. it's not good for you. So be my.
Why would boxing not be good for a boxer who, at a point, was one of our biggest potentials to become a world champion?
Yeah, the reason why I was saying that, based on a couple of fights that he had in US, he was knocked down, and it took him like 10 minutes before even they stretch him off from the ring. So I started feeling scared about him, and I already, if somebody told me that, I wanted to give Emmanuel a fight, and you ask him that, Emmanuel, somebody said he wanted you to fight with Attoh. He would tell you, hey, Attoh, how many did he fight? Did he lose before? Is it good? So, something like that. There you realize that the person's mind is no more there. So I tell you know what? Stop the game. What is going to happen is, I'm going to fight with Pacquiao. Wait. When we finish, I will make paper for you. I will pay somebody to make paper for you. So you become American green card holder, and maybe you become a citizen. So you become my second trainer. When we all go to the ring and fight, we share the money. I talked to him several times. He was telling me that you, the little one, who's going to tell me what to do. I said, then do what you want to do. End of the day, he came to Ghana without listening to me. My father talked to me several times, and I started thinking about him. I started giving him money every month. Then later, he asked me money for his children's school fees. And I told him, you know what? I have a lot to do. I'm taking care of my family. And it's your responsibilities. But me, the younger one, is doing it. So I can start today, but I don't know if I can finish tomorrow. So it's a kind of tough thing. Because of that, I started going to the papers and radio started talking about me.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, he started saying that I told him to stop boxing. I'm not saying that you should stop boxing because I'm not the one that owns his life. He's my senior brother. But the way it is, the mind wasn't there. And it's like, I want to tell people that everybody that is listening, they should listen to me very well. Emmanuel is not crazy. He's not crazy like they think. It's just a problem whereby he was thinking about his family. And he was thinking that certain things are going on wrong for him because, in life, I wanted to be a very top journalist, become like rest in peace, me, I wanted to be somebody like that. If all those things not happening, sometimes if you don't hold yourself, you become stressed to a extent that you started talking bad. But that doesn't mean that, my doctor checked Emmanuel's mind. He drew every text, and he told me that Emmanuel is fine. Emmanuel went to mosques in US. He went to the mosque and he told them that he wanted to be the imam for today. And everybody was like, "Oh, where are you from?" So because of that, they called police and they took him to a Lincoln hospital. They checked him, they make exam on him, and it was fine. Emmanuel was fine. Emmanuel is not crazy. Just that the mind, he wanted to be a champion, become somebody, make money, and just take care of family. Everything just went off, and nothing happened. That's the reason why he was thinking so. He was doing like he's crazy, but he's not crazy.
What is the relationship between you two like at this time that we talk?
Well, to be frank, to tell you the truth, I don't want him to come close to me.
Why?
Yeah, because he don't like me. I want him to like me as a brother, for him to follow me rest of my career, for us to be like brothers. Use my car, use my house is yours. We are brothers. He don't want to do that. He's telling me that why did he come to live in my house? He's not going to come and live with me because he's the senior one. I was like, senior one, so what? You don't have anything. If I have, come and live with me for us to share everything that I have. He don't want to do that. So I realized that he keep telling people that I make him juju before I become somebody in boxing. But you see, like I said, since I moved to US 2003, I never know anything called that. I never give nobody money to work for me. I was fighting by myself and my mind and my prayers as a Muslim. I don't go to juju. If anybody knows that comes to him for my fight, may God punish me. I don't do that. I'm talking this on the air. I never go to nobody since I went to US 2003. I was
This is
These are some very, very shocking revelations, very, very thought-provoking revelations made by former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey, and it was live on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV, where we may bring it back on Sports Night, so you stay tuned to the Joy Sports channel for that. Well, at the weekend, there was a big game played between Ghana and Nigeria in cricket. And remember that the Ghana and Nigeria are both members of the Northwest African Quadrangular, circuit where tournaments are played on a regular basis. So Ghana and Nigeria played this big international friendly. Let's go over to the Achimota Cricket Oval for the details.
Because our club has been here on a friendly international some time ago, I think 1997 for the first time. And this is our second trip to Ghana. One of the motivations is to spread the gospel of cricket in West Africa and to try to maintain the culture. Because cricket, as I said, as most people know, is good for youth development, cleanliness, timeliness, things like that. Most of your boys are national under-19 and senior national team players. And we have quite a few on our side as well who played for Nigeria before and are no longer playing. And we have a few too that are under-19. So obviously, stiff competition. The quality of cricket I've seen is about the same. But it still depends. You are fewer than we are, and cricket is played only in a few places in Nigeria, not all over the country, as large as it is. So I guess it still depends on how you are carrying the game around in Ghana. We'll just change a few players. There are about 4 of them that didn't play today. I intend to give everyone a game. I didn't bring them to Ghana to just come here for socials. So hopefully we'll change the team around a bit, just a bit tomorrow. But essentially we'll have maybe about 7 of the players that played today play tomorrow as well. And that was the agreement we had when we started this again. We are looking at alternate years for each side. Since we've come this year, we hope that you will come next year, around the same cricket playing periods. You know that we can't play cricket during the rains, so it has to be between November and early May or thereabouts. So we will agree on when you guys are coming to Lagos, and we intend to give you the kind of hospitality you've given us, which is fantastic.
I think it's been a very beautiful game. Before the game started, I thought the Nigerians were going to give us a hard time, but it looks like we are matching them bat for bat, and I'm quite impressed with the play of the Ghanaians. The game is not as developed as it is in Nigeria, and so to be able to match a top Nigerian club, I think Titans has done a great deal. They are going to play BGC Cricket Club tomorrow, and if the trend follows the same like we've seen today, then I want to believe that Ghana's cricket is gradually coming of age, and I'm sure next year when we go back to Lagos in the return leg, we should be able to beat them in their own backyard.
Okay, so you earlier heard from Agodo Ogenokome, who is the president of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, of course, the former vice chair of the Ghana Cricket Association, Ben Nunu Mensah. There. Okay, so it's time for us to go for the moment of the day. A million apologies for our inability to bring you the text messages. Don't worry, we'll rectify that for Wednesday. So you stay well. Remember that later on in the day, George Attoh Jr. will bring you the football show. And, of course, there is a lot more to look forward to here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. Remember, we'll also be updating you on the Black Stars and that game that is expected to be played on Wednesday against Montenegro, the international friendly, which is very crucial ahead of the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. All right, so that's it for sports today. Thanks to the whole production team. Thanks to all of you. I'll be back on Wednesday. This now will be the moment of the day. My name is Nathaniel Attoh, and I have love for sport.
it back with Africa's Footballer of the Year showing his class.
Touré, fantastic, and his own personal Wembley hat-trick. He scored in an FA Cup semi, an FA Cup final, and now the final of the League Cup.